Welcome to Wakaati Entertainment.GIST. On the headlines, federal government orders reopening of Independence Bridge in Lagos. Cubana Chiefpriest debuts new single off upcoming album. Elon Musk to step back from Trump's government, according to reports. And in sport, Mourinho in fresh crisis for pinching nose of Galatasaray's Okan Buruk. And now the news in detail. The Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, on Wednesday night directed the immediate reopening of the Independence Bridge in Lagos to vehicular traffic. The bridge, which had been scheduled for closure from April 1st to the end of May 2025 for essential maintenance and rehabilitation, was shut down earlier this week, causing severe traffic congestion across key routes in Victoria Island and its environs. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Olukorede Kisha, had initially explained that the closure was necessary for planned repairs. However, following massive gridlock and public outcry, the Federal Ministry of Works clarified that the required maintenance would be rescheduled. Thousands of commuters faced hours of delays, with traffic stretching from Lekki through Victoria Island and Falamo Bridge towards the mainland. Major roads were heavily affected, including Ahmadu Bello Way, Adeola Odeku, and the Marina-bound route. Kesha expressed regrets for the inconvenience caused and appealed for public understanding regarding future maintenance plans for the bridge. Controversial singers Portable and Speed Darlington are set to face each other in a seemingly highly anticipated boxing match. It was gathered that the event is set to hold on the 18th of April 2025. The ferry bout is scheduled to be held at the Balmoral Convention Center on Victoria Island in Lagos. This comes following their recent clash online, where Speed Darlington had offered Portable 500k to appear at his show. However, Portable had blasted Speed Darlington for considering him cheap enough for the sultry sum. Speed Darlington then expressed regrets in inviting Portable, asking himself why he had considered him in the first place. It is not clear if the boxing game is a means to raise funds or both are trying to show their street credibility. However, posters of the viral bout is currently making rounds on social media. Nigerian socialite and nightlife entertainer Cubana Chiefpriest has officially released his highly anticipated debut song More Money. The song, accompanied by a vibrant music video, has already sparked excitement and reactions from fans on social media. He announced the song's release on his Instagram page. The song features rising music stars Boy P, Brown Joel, and Heist, known for their viral hit Ogechi. Cubana Chiefpriest had previously teased a snippet of the track on the 27th of March 2025. This song is part of his upcoming album CP No Small, which has Afrobeat superstar Davido as the executive producer, further heightening anticipation among music lovers. Taking to Instagram, Cubana Chiefpriest expressed his excitement about the song's release, emphasizing the influence of Davido in shaping the project. Referring to the singer's impact, he wrote, "The legend himself made sure we made a classic," reinforcing the confidence behind his debut. British-Nigerian actor Boyega has slammed the Star Wars franchise and its fans while reflecting on the racist backlash. Boyega, who is 33, said the franchise is so white that it's like a black person existing in it was something. He made the statement while appearing in the new two-part Apple TV Plus documentary, #1 on the call sheet. Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. He had previously claimed his role was sidelined for white co-star Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, as he criticized fans who can't accept diverse casting. "They're okay with us playing the best friends, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my god, it's just a bit too much," they are pondering. Boyega played the franchise's first Black X Stormtrooper Finn in The Force Awakens in 2015 and its two sequels, The Last Jedi 2017 and The Rise of Skywalker in 2019. He also pointed out how fans tend to make a big deal out of the few black characters in the franchise. Despite his issues with the franchise, Boyega admitted that his Star Wars film was a fundamental moment in his career and called it opportunity of a lifetime. US President Donald Trump has reportedly told his cabinet and inner circle that Elon Musk is stepping back from his government role. This comes after Musk, currently serving as an advisor and a special government employee in President Donald Trump's administration, confirmed during a Fox News interview with Bret Baier that he expects to complete Doge's mission of cutting $1 trillion in federal spending within 130 days time frame permitted under federal law. According to Politico, the Tesla and SpaceX founder will soon be returning to the business world. Musk's designation as a special government employee meant he was scheduled to step down in May, but he is now leaving early amid several controversies. It was reported that it is a joint decision between Trump and Elon, as Trump said he remains happy with Musk's work with the Department of Government Efficiency. Musk has become a controversial figure due to his style of cutting down the federal government, and stocks in Tesla has dropped sharply with sales down and vehicles being set on fire. He also just spent $20 million on Wisconsin's Supreme Court race only to have his Republican candidate lose. Ghana has announced plans to investigate the tragic death of Nigerian boxer Segun Olanrewaju, who collapsed during a professional bout in Accra. Olanrewaju was competing against Ghanaian opponent John Mbanugu during Fight Night 15 of the Ghana Professional Boxing League at the Bukum Boxing Arena on March 29 when he collapsed in the third round. He was immediately taken to Kalbu Teaching Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. In response, Ghana's Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, stated that an investigative committee will be formed to examine the circumstances surrounding the incident. Speaking on Ghana radio station Sporty FM, Adams assured the public that the probe would be thorough and transparent. It is only through an investigation that we can determine if all the necessary fight protocols were followed, including ringside safety measures and the presence of paramedics, Adams said. We need to institute a committee to look into what happened, and I assure everyone that nothing will be covered up. The investigation follows allegation of negligence by Remi Aboderin, Secretary General of the Nigerian Boxing Board Control (NBBOC), who claimed that the fight did not adhere to proper boxing regulations. Olanrewaju, a former weight African and national light heavyweight champion, had a professional record of 24 fights with 13 wins, 8 losses, and 3 draws. His sudden death has sparked concerns over boxer safety and regulation standards in professional boxing. The Nigerian Football Federation has denied rumors of the contract termination of Super Eagles coach Eric Chelle. The Malian coach was said to be uncertain over his future on the Nigerian job after the result of his March 2026 World Cup qualifiers, which further left the country's hopes in disarray. A top official in the football governing body has now described the reports making rounds about a potential contract termination of the Super Eagles coach as fake news. The board member to the NFF told Punch that the executive committees did not convene any meeting as the coach was on his way to Europe, where he is expected to meet Nigerian players and also convince some more eligible players to play for the country. Top of the list to meet in Europe is Arsenal's wonder kid Ethan Nwaneri, whose chance of switching his allegiance to Nigeria was further boosted by an England snub during the last international break. Chelle was appointed as Super Eagles coach in January on a 2-year deal, which is subject to renewal. He has overseen 2 matches since his appointment, guiding Nigeria to a 2-0 victory over Rwanda in Kigali before a frustrating 1-1 draw with Zimbabwe in Uyo last Thursday. And finally, in the world of sport, Mourinho has landed himself in trouble for pinching the nose of Galatasaray boss Okan Buruk after his Fenerbahce side were beaten in a very Istanbul derby on Wednesday, April 2nd. Mourinho's side suffered a disappointing 2-1 defeat in the quarter-final of the Turkish club. However, the game was overshadowed by a chaotic display triggered by Mourinho that saw 3 players, Fenerbahce's Met Yıldız and Galatasaray's Kerem Demirbay and Barry's Yilmaz, sent off. Towards the end of the game, Mourinho clashed with Buruk as he made his way onto the pitch. The Portuguese coach was then seen pinching his counterpart's nose. Buruk fell to the floor, clutching his nose and face as players from both sides rushed in. The ugly scene led to the 3 red cards just before the second half stoppage time. Mourinho was subsequently pulled away from the scene by a member of his coaching staff. And that's it on Wakaati Entertainment Gist. See you next time.